They told you your body ends at your skin, that you're a sack of organs, a brain with chemistry, a machine made of matter. But something in you always knew you're more. You felt it when someone entered the room and changed the energy before a word was spoken. You felt it when you stood in nature and your body buzzed with peace. You felt it in the chills that had nothing to do with cold, in the way your heart breaks before your mind understands why. You are not just muscle, bone, and blood. You are frequency, light, electricity woven with emotion, a field of intelligence beyond what biology can explain. And ancient civilizations knew this, long before microscopes, long before EEGs and EKGs. They mapped an entire system of energy inside the body, not with wires, but with wisdom. They called them chakras, not symbols, but centers, gateways through which consciousness flows into form. Root, sacral, solar, heart, throat, third eye, crown, each one a lens, a layer, a level of being, not fantasy, but function. And now, modern science is beginning to catch up, to admit what sages always knew. The body is a field, not a machine. The heart emits electromagnetic waves stronger than the brain. Your cells emit light. Your thoughts affect the coherence of your entire system. You are not solid, you are vibrational, and your chakra system is not ancient mythology. It's inner technology. But here's the problem. You've been disconnected from it, conditioned to numb it, taught to live from the neck up, ignoring the sacred circuit that runs through your being. And because of that, you've forgotten how to feel, how to listen, how to heal from the inside out. But that's changing now, because something in you is remembering, a pull toward deeper awareness, a desire to move energy, to wake up the forgotten temple that lives within your body. This video isn't just information, it's an activation. Because when you remember that your body is an instrument of light, you start to tune it. And when you tune it, you don't just heal, you evolve. Let's begin. Long before hospitals, long before textbooks, long before the body was sliced and labeled, it was studied as a temple of light. To the ancients, you weren't just a body. You were a current, a pulse, a living mandala of energy with layers that stretched beyond the visible. And while the modern world gave you anatomy, the ancient world gave you something just as vital, a map of your inner cosmos. In the Vedic texts of India, some of the oldest spiritual writings on earth, sages described a subtle system within the human form, a network of spinning wheels of energy chakras aligned along the spine. They weren't metaphors, they were mechanics, not imagined but experienced by those who had awakened their inner vision. These weren't philosophers guessing in the dark, they were yogic scientists, mystics who had turned their awareness inward and discovered an entire infrastructure of consciousness. From the root, where survival instincts and tribal memory are held to the crown, where divine connection and transcendence blossom, the chakra system wasn't a belief, it was an energetic anatomy, mapped not through dissection, but through meditation. And this wasn't limited to India. In China, Taoist masters spoke of meridians and energy centers in the Dantian. In Egypt, initiates of the mystery schools encoded chakra-like wisdom into temple art and rituals. In Kabbalistic teachings, the tree of life mirrors the energy body and its pathways. Even native cultures spoke of energy wheels and inner fire. Why? Because when you turn your awareness inward, really inward, you begin to feel what can't be seen with eyes. You begin to notice that certain emotions live in certain parts of the body, that tension, illness, or numbness aren't random, they're energetic signals. You start to sense that fear lives in the belly, that grief echoes in the chest, that truth tightens the throat when it's unspoken. The ancients knew this, and they developed systems, practices, sounds, movements to open, balance, and activate these energy centers. They saw the body not as a burden to escape, but as a sacred interface between matter and spirit. The chakras were not just about personal healing, they were the ladder of spiritual evolution, a way to move from instinct to intuition, from survival to sovereignty, from unconscious reaction to awakened creation. But somewhere along the way, we forgot. As the world industrialized, as the soul was silenced, as the body was reduced to flesh and function, the knowledge faded. Not because it was wrong, but because it was dangerous to the systems that profited from your disconnection. Because once you remember that you can shift your energy, you stop outsourcing your power. Once you know that healing lives inside you, you stop giving it away. And that's what makes the ancient chakra system so revolutionary even today. It doesn't give you new beliefs, it gives you a mirror. To feel yourself, to hear what your body has been trying to say, to become your own healer, your own activator, your own mystic technician. And as you learn to work with your inner energy system, you don't just feel better, you become aligned. Because alignment isn't just physical posture, it's the harmony of energy. And the ancients left you the blueprint. Now it's your time to remember how to use it. Imagine your body as a tower of light, a spine, not of bone, but of energy. From the base of your spine to the crown of your head, 7 radiant vortices spin, each one tuned to a specific frequency, each one acting as a gateway between the seen and unseen. These are the chakras, and they are more than spiritual poetry. They are the architecture of your soul in the body. Each chakra governs an aspect of your human experience: physical, emotional, mental, spiritual. And when they're in harmony, you feel it. You're alive, awake, connected. When they're blocked or imbalanced, you feel that too, as confusion, fatigue, anxiety, illness, disconnection. Let's journey through these inner portals, not as abstract ideas, but as living aspects of your being. 1. Root chakra, Muladhara, I am. Color, red element, earth location, base of spine. This is your foundation, your sense of safety, survival, and belonging. It governs your connection to the earth, your body, your right to exist. When balanced, you feel secure, grounded, present. When blocked, you feel anxious, unsafe, untrusting, like you don't belong here. 2. Sacral chakra, Svadhisthana, I feel. Color, orange element, water location, below the navel. This is the center of emotion, creativity, sensuality. It governs pleasure, passion, and the flow of relationships. When open, you feel joy, intimacy, and creative fire. When blocked, you may feel numb, ashamed, emotionally unstable. 3. Solar plexus, Manipura, I do. Color, yellow element, fire location, above the navel. This is your willpower, your identity, your inner fire. It governs confidence, boundaries, action. A balanced solar plexus brings empowerment, clarity, motivation. When blocked, you feel powerless, passive, or aggressive. 4. Heart chakra, Anahata, I love. Color, green element, air location, center of the chest. This is the bridge between lower and higher self, between survival and spirit. It governs love, compassion, empathy, forgiveness. When open, you radiate warmth and trust. When blocked, you may feel grief, jealousy, or fear of intimacy. 5. Throat chakra, Vishuddha, I speak. Color, blue element, ether location, throat. This is your voice, your truth, your authentic self-expression. It governs communication and integrity. When balanced, you speak clearly, listen deeply, and express without fear. When blocked, you stay silent, overtalk, or lie to fit in. 6. Third eye, Ajna, I see. Color, indigo element, light location, between the eyebrows. This is the seat of your intuition, insight, inner wisdom. It governs imagination, perception, and inner vision. When open, you trust your gut, receive messages, and see through illusion. When blocked, you doubt yourself, struggle with direction, or fall into delusion. 7. Crown chakra, Sahasrara, I know. Color, violet or white element, cosmic energy location, top of the head. This is your connection to the divine, the infinite, the universal field of consciousness. When balanced, you feel connected to something greater, guided, peaceful. When blocked, you may feel spiritually disconnected, nihilistic, or overly attached to ego. Together, these 7 centers form a vertical axis of light, a spiritual nervous system. A system that isn't static, it breathes with you. It responds to thoughts, emotion, sound, breath, intention. And while you may have heard of the chakras as metaphors, they are more than that. They are interfaces between your biology and your soul, between your story and your spirit. They are alive, and they are speaking through your health, your desires, your fears, your intuition. The question is, are you listening? Because when you do, you don't just feel better. You begin to align. And alignment is not just spiritual, it's practical, it's embodied, it's a life that flows instead of fights. And the chakras are the inner rivers that carry that flow. For centuries, the chakra system was dismissed as mystical, metaphorical, even imaginary. But slowly, and then suddenly, modern science began to catch up. Because the deeper we peer into matter, the more we find vibration. The closer we look at cells, at atoms, at molecules, the more we see that nothing is truly solid. Everything is energy in motion, in rhythm, in relationship. And so are you. What ancient mystics saw in stillness, science is now observing with machines. The biofield, a scientific aura. In the 1990s, scientists coined a term to describe something yogis had always known, the biofield. Defined as a complex field of electromagnetic and subtle energy that surrounds and interpenetrates the human body, the biofield is now being studied in labs, clinics, and research centers across the world. It's measurable, it's reactive, it responds to thoughts, emotion, and intention. And it's not woo, it's biology meeting frequency. The heart's electromagnetic field. According to the HeartMath Institute, your heart emits an electromagnetic field up to 60 times more powerful than the brain. It creates waves that extend several feet outside your body, interacting with others, with space, even with physical objects. When you're in states of love, gratitude, or compassion, this field becomes coherent, harmonious. When you're in fear, stress, or anger, it becomes chaotic. This coherence directly affects your brainwaves, hormones, immune function, and more. In short, your energy changes your physiology. Sound familiar? It's what the ancients taught, that emotion lives in the heart, and the heart is the center of energetic flow. Biophotons. Your cells emit light. Scientists have discovered that human cells emit ultra-weak light called biophotons in the ultraviolet range. Your body glows even if you can't see it. And what's more, this light seems to carry information. DNA emits and absorbs biophotons like a communication system. What if chakras aren't just energy centers, but light processors transforming spiritual information into biological signal? What if illness, fatigue, and imbalance begin not just in the body, but in the distortion of this inner light? Brainwaves, frequencies, and states of consciousness. We now know that the brain operates in distinct frequency states: beta for alertness, alpha for calm, theta for trance, delta for deep sleep. Meditation alters these frequencies. Sound healing can synchronize them, and chakra work, especially through mantra and vibration, aligns them naturally. Each chakra even has a corresponding frequency and tone. Instruments like Tibetan singing bowls, tuning forks, and chanting all directly affect these centers not symbolically, but physically. So when ancient yogis chanted Om to awaken the crown chakra, they weren't being poetic. They were resonating the nervous system. They were tuning the field. Technology meets tradition. Devices now exist that map the human aura: Kirlian photography, GDV imaging, EEGs, HRV scans, all beginning to visualize what mystics felt. And as science becomes more quantum, more holistic, the old models of isolated organs and symptom treatment start to fall apart. We are beginning to see. The body is a frequency device. The chakras are tuning mechanisms, and health is coherence across the field. So what does this mean? It means that ancient knowledge was not myth. It was ahead of its time. It means that you are not a closed system. You are a resonant being, receiving, broadcasting, absorbing, and shaping energy every moment of your life. You don't have to believe in chakras. You just have to feel them. You just have to listen. And science is finally giving you the language to explain what the soul has always known. You are not just chemistry. You are light, sound, rhythm, and intelligence woven together. And the moment you remember that, everything begins to shift. Your body keeps the score, but your energy field holds the memory. Long after a wound has closed, long after the words have faded, long after the experience is over, its imprint can remain in your emotions, in your nervous system, and in your chakras. Because energy never lies, and it never forgets. Every belief you've accepted, every emotion you've suppressed, every trauma you've carried, they all live inside your field, not metaphorically, but energetically. And until you clear them, they continue to shape your reality. The energy of emotion. Emotion is energy in motion. It's not a mood. It's a frequency moving through the body, seeking expression, integration, release. But when you suppress it, when you hold your breath, bite your tongue, fake the smile, that energy doesn't disappear. It stores. It settles in the weakest chakra. It creates tension, imbalance, stagnation. Grief lodges in the heart. Shame curls into the sacral center. Fear anchors in the root. Unspoken truths tighten the throat. Over time, the blocked flow becomes discomfort, then illness, then identity. But it doesn't have to stay there. Because once you begin to feel truly, honestly, openly, you begin to free the field. The shape of belief. Every belief you hold has a vibration. I am not safe. I must earn love. My voice doesn't matter. I can't trust anyone. These aren't just thoughts. They are frequencies broadcasting into your field. 7/24. And your chakras listen. They constrict or expand based on what you believe is possible. So when your solar plexus collapses in the face of criticism, it's not just insecurity, it's a belief saying, "I don't deserve power." When your throat goes dry every time you speak truth, it's a belief saying, "If I'm honest, I'll be punished." The good news? Beliefs can be rewired, energy can be reset, and when it is your chakras respond. Trauma echoes through the field. Trauma is not just what happened, it's what happened without release, without safety, without integration. And it doesn't live only in memory, it lives in muscle, breath, posture, and most of all, in your subtle body. This is why some people live in constant fight or flight, not because of what's happening now, but because their energy system is stuck in the past. The good news is, you don't need to relive the pain to heal it. You need to feel where it lives in the body and invite it to move. This is what ancient energy practices were built for. Asterisk breathwork, to move stagnant energy. Asterisk, sound to resonate blocked chakras. Asterisk movement, to unlock stuck trauma. Asterisk visualization, to reprogram beliefs. Asterisk stillness, to return to coherence. The science behind it. Modern studies now confirm emotions affect heart rhythm, hormonal balance, and even DNA expression. Chronic stress shrinks parts of the brain. Positive states like gratitude or compassion increase immunity and heart coherence. Your thoughts change your biochemistry. Your feelings change your field. Epigenetics shows us that trauma isn't just personal, it's generational. But that means healing isn't just personal either. When you clear your chakras, when you raise your vibration, you shift the whole lineage. You become a breaker of cycles, a rewriter of patterns, a transmitter of new frequency. So if you've felt stuck, if you've carried emotions you couldn't name, if you've repeated patterns that defy logic, it's not because you're broken. It's because your field has been trying to get your attention. And the moment you start listening, the moment you breathe into the pain instead of resisting it, you begin to clear space. Space for light, for power, for alignment. Because your energy body was never meant to carry trauma forever. It was meant to transmute it. And every time you choose to feel, to move, to release, you're not just healing. You're remembering what it means to be whole. You don't need to become a monk. You don't need to move to a mountain. You don't need to chant in Sanskrit or memorize ancient texts. To activate your chakras, to align your energy, you simply need to remember how to feel. Because the truth is, you were born with the tools, your breath, your voice, your attention, your intention. The ancient yogis didn't invent the chakra system, they observed it. And what they discovered is that the body responds to vibration, rhythm, and presence. You are no different. Your chakras are not locked, they are waiting for you to tune in. Start with the breath. Breath is the bridge between the physical and the energetic. When you breathe consciously, you move energy. Long, deep belly breaths activate the root and sacral chakras. Focused breathing into the chest opens the heart. Fast breath through the nose energizes the solar plexus. Gentle breath held at the crown expands the upper fan. Centers. Just 5 minutes of focused breath work can shift your entire frequency. Move with intention. Yoga is not about poses. It's about energy alignment. Every stretch, twist, and breath opens a specific part of the body and therefore a specific chakra. But you don't need to be flexible. Simple movements, hip circles, spinal rolls, heart openers wake up dormant energy. Even walking, dancing, or intuitive movement with awareness can reconnect your field. The key is presence. Feel your body. Move your energy. Work with color and visualization. Each chakra radiates a color: red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, violet. Close your eyes. Breathe into the area of the chakra. Visualize it glowing, spinning, bright, alive. Use light to clear, empower, expand. Your mind creates signals the body follows. Your vision creates the energy your field aligns to. What you imagine, you begin to become. Use crystals and essential oils. Nature gave us allies. Red jasper grounds the root. Carnelian awakens creativity. Citrine energizes the solar plexus. Rose quartz and emerald open the heart. Lapis lazuli enhances the third eye. Amethyst connects to the crown. Essential oils like lavender, sandalwood, and frankincense do the same, activating the nervous system and tuning the chakras gently. These are not decorations. They are conductors. Silence is a practice. You don't always have to do. Sometimes the most powerful alignment happens in stillness. Sit, listen to your breath. Place one hand on your heart, one on your belly. Ask, what needs to open? And then feel. Because the chakra system is not a ladder you climb, it's a harmony you remember. Each time you clear one center, you make space for another to rise. Each time you align, you restore the signal between your soul and your body. You become your own healer, your own guide, your own activation. And in that, you become whole. Chakras are not just centers of energy. They are gateways, doorways into consciousness itself. To most, the chakras are about balance, healing, grounding, but to the mystics, they were something more. A ladder. Each chakra is not only connected to a part of your body, but to a level of awareness, a dimension of being. When aligned, they don't just restore health, they activate memory, they awaken your inner technology, they unlock the bridge between human and divine. Because you are not here just to survive, you are here to ascend. Not by leaving your body, but by bringing your body into harmony with the highest frequencies of your soul. From survival to sovereignty. At the root chakra, you exist. You are anchored in the earth, in the physical world, in instincts and tribe. As you move up to the sacral and solar plexus, you discover pleasure, identity, power. But then something shifts. You rise to the heart, the center point between body and spirit. Here, you begin to transcend the ego, to see yourself not as separate but as connected. Here, empathy blooms. Compassion flows. You remember, I am not alone. I am part of something greater. And as you continue, at the throat, you speak truth, not just yours, but truth as a cosmic law. At the third eye, you begin to see beyond the veil. Visions return. Intuition awakens. The soul whispers, and you finally hear. And at the crown, you remember, you were never disconnected. The divine wasn't above or beyond. It was always within you, waiting to be accessed. The chakra system is a path from density to light, from reaction to creation, from fragmentation to unity. It is spiritual architecture hidden in your body. Kundalini, the coiled light. In ancient yogic teachings, a powerful force lies dormant at the base of the spine. Kundalini, the serpent energy. It is the evolutionary impulse of your soul, the fire of divine remembrance. When activated, It rises, awakening each chakra like keys on a sacred piano. It brings energy, insight, transformation, and sometimes chaos, because it burns away what no longer fits your evolution. But when guided with care and wisdom, Kundalini moves you from ordinary perception into multi-dimensional consciousness. You begin to see synchronicity everywhere. You dream with clarity. You feel others' energy as clearly as sound. You manifest faster, heal deeper, love wider. You step into soul vision. The chakras as stargates. Each chakra corresponds not just to body parts, but to elements, planets, frequencies, even star systems. Ancient initiates believed the chakras were connected to celestial bodies, that as you activated them, you activated your connection to the cosmos. The microcosm reflects the macrocosm. Your body isn't just of Earth, it is a receiver of stellar intelligence. What if the chakra system is not just a tool of healing, but a map for cosmic navigation? What if, when aligned, you become not just aware but interdimensional? Because the deeper truth is this: you are not a being becoming spiritual. You are a spiritual being remembering how to be human. And the chakras? They're the codes that bridge the two. You are not meant to stay locked in the lower centers, fighting, surviving, proving, performing. You are meant to rise, to spiral upward, to become an integrated being of heart, mind, spirit, and body. And in doing so, you don't just transform yourself. You become a transmitter, an anchor for others, a beacon of embodied light. This is what the ancients knew, and what modern seekers are remembering. The chakras aren't just colors, they are frequencies of awakening. And you hold them all. You were never broken. You were never disconnected. You were simply taught to forget. Taught that healing comes from outside. That truth is something you read in a book. That power wears a badge, a title, a robe. That spirit is somewhere far, and you are just flesh and function. But now, you're starting to remember that your body isn't just skin and muscle, it's an instrument, a resonating chamber of light, sound, and emotion. That your pain was never random, it was energy that needed movement. That your sensitivity isn't weakness, it's wisdom in motion. You've been carrying the tools all along: your breath, your voice, your awareness, your will. The chakras aren't fantasy. They're not just diagrams in yoga books. They are the blueprint of your multidimensional self. And when you begin to live from that, knowing everything changes. You stop reacting. You start responding. You stop outsourcing your well-being. You start channeling it from within. Because this is the truth they never taught you in school. Your body is a portal. Your emotions are signals. Your thoughts sculpt your field, and your consciousness is the master switch. This isn't a metaphor. It's inner technology, and you are the engineer. You don't need to be perfect. You don't need to be advanced. You only need to be present. Because alignment doesn't mean you're always calm. It means you're always aware. And awareness is power. You came here with a mission: to live awake in a world that forgot, to heal your lineage by healing yourself, to remember what it means to feel deeply, live fully, and rise clearly. And as you awaken others, not by preaching, by radiating, by being in alignment with your own soul's frequency, by letting your chakras become clear, balanced, alive, by letting your field hum with the harmony of truth. Because that's what healing really is. Not a destination, but a return to what was always inside you. This is your homecoming, not to a place but to a state. And now, you are no longer seeking. You are remembering. You are resonating. You are becoming the light you've been looking for. The ancient world never died. It lives in you. The chakra system never disappeared. It's encoded in your cells. The energy body isn't an idea. It's you unfolding in alignment, one breath at a time. Welcome back to the truth of who you are. Welcome back to your inner technology.